Hey everybody. So right now I want to talk about personal property rights. I think it's something especially those of us in Laramie County are currently going through, with a lot of rezoning, proposals and additional regulations and new rules, stuff like that. It's kind of, it's a lot. It's a lot for all of us to digest, this whole idea. A lot of us, I don't think we realize that we've been allowing our personal property rights to be eroded for several decades here in Wyoming. I don't think we really knew that, Laramie County had the rules on the books to do the type of regulation and sort of intrusion into our personal property and private affairs than they really do already have. And it's come to light because of the new proposals coming through the books. By the way, my name is Joseph Kibler. I am running for governor next year. Hope you like this video. If you like it, could you share, comment, tell your friends, help me build a coalition behind faith, family, freedom, and the future as I run for governor. So, private property, I've sat in a bunch of these meetings lately. I've had some conversations with folks at various departments, and it's become abundantly clear to me that it is going to be hard to get back our complete property rights in Laramie County and in the state and beyond that. So I've come up with a sort of a proposal of what we could potentially do. And that is this. One, let's get rid of all of the overly intrusive regulations that we currently have that, by the way, most of us didn't know about, right? Let's completely eliminate the burdensome sort of blanket home occupation and private property rules that currently exist. Let's just get rid of them. These infringe, anyways, on our individual property rights. This includes the removal of conditional use permits, excessive business-related permits. The U.S., we're a constitutional republic, meaning that the individual rights take precedence over the collective, over the county rights. So instead of these current regs, you create Laramie County's good neighbor policies, which do have balanced boundaries, right, for what you can do on your property, but you leave the rest of us alone. And what do I mean by that? This is kind of what I've written down, and I'll share this with you guys. The county cannot dictate what you do on your private property, except for in cases that are listed in the good neighbor policies. Any activity which is not a nuisance, not harmful to the environment, and not illegal should be allowed for you to do on your property. I mean, that's just the way it should be. Without requiring county permits or oversight or activities like this at all. The exceptions to that would be the items that are outlined in the Good Neighbor policy. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about this, a little bit about what I kind of come up with and what come up with in my mind. So Laramie County also wants to rezone everything. I don't see an issue with that, you guys. I think that the rezoning helps with efficiency and oversight. I think it's a good idea. If the good neighbor policies are written in a way that will help us all be good neighbors. And also, the county needs to have the authority to go in on true nuisance situations and deal with them. And so we don't want to strip away like everything that the county could do or needs to be able to do. So we want to find a balanced approach. So county has to leave you alone on your private property unless you're doing something that falls under the guise of the good neighbor policies. And what does that look like? So you get rid of all the current stuff and you just make it good neighbor policy. And this is what you say, something along these lines. The good neighbor policy, it is meant to just be a common sense approach, to property management, to zoning, to, the management of hazards and things like that. Being a good neighbor means that you respect your neighbors and you think about that. It means that you're not destroying the environment, right? You're not dumping motor oil, all over your property, stuff like that. You're not building a nuclear power plant on your property, right? Stuff like that, common sense things, and that you're obeying the law. The good neighbor policies also means that the county is a good neighbor. And I think overall, by the way, I've looked at the nuisance complaints in the last 10 years in the county, stuff like that. And we don't get a lot, you guys, considering that we have the number of residences, we have nearly 50,000 homes and about 100-ish or so news complaints a year. It goes up and down. And we do a pretty good job, but that's a testament too to the county doing a good job mitigating those situations as well. So I don't want to throw them completely under the bus. But then you also have to balance that with individual rights along with community well-being. And that's where the good neighbor rules really kick in. And so what does that look like? Certain activities on private property might require neighborhood approval, planning approval, and conditional use permits and related fees. And I think some of those activities would be, industrial activities of the medium and high density nature, commercial activities of the medium and high density nature, egregious noise, trash, or junk. That's not being a good neighbor, right? So the county having the ability to take care of those things, I think it's really, really important. Activities which harm the environment. I'm not an environmentalist by any shape of the imagination, but I do believe in conservation. And so if you're harming the environment, I think it's important that the county has an opportunity to have a conversation with you and maybe help you come up with a solution. And then, of course, illegal activities. And those are really the 5 key areas that good neighbor policies would focus on. And that would allow the county to permit and inspect and regulate the things that do really, to have good neighborhoods and good community, that do need to have some oversight. And this is common sense. But for the 98% of us, for me selling eggs out my front door, the county does not have permission to be involved in that. And I think that helps us strike a balance between what the county needs to accomplish for growth, for development, for the future, and what we live in Wyoming for is, right, you guys, to be able to do on our own property and our private lives the things that we would like to do. That's why we're here. So that's just a really broad, maybe I'll share my one-page plan with you guys on how we could kind of come between what the county needs to accomplish and what I agree they need to be able to do for zoning, development, nuisance control, but also what the residents of Laramie County and, quite frankly, the state of Wyoming also deserve in their property rights, their personal property rights. And right now, to a lot of our surprise, we don't have the rights we thought we had. And so we need to fight for those rights that we thought we had, but also give the county the appropriate and well-balanced tools to do what they need to do. So anyway, you like this video? I would love your feedback, your comments, share it with people. I'm open to having personal discussions. I'll get with you on Zoom. I'll meet you in person at a coffee shop to talk about these things. I'm happy to do that. So with that, this is my thoughts on personal property right.